Meet Dave. This year, Dave crossed $1 million in revenue. He's posting the screenshots. His family finally believes he made it. To everyone watching, Dave is the success story you've been trying to replicate. But here's what those screenshots don't show. Dave hasn't slept properly in 3 weeks. His credit card interest is compounding faster than his sales. His margins are thinner than they have ever been, and he's exactly 30 days away from total, irreversible financial collapse. He doesn't own a business. He owns a sophisticated money trap, one he built himself with his own time and capital, and because every single guru on his feed told him this was the smart way to scale. The terrifying part? Dave has absolutely no idea. Every metric on his dashboard is flashing green. The revenue looks great. The problem is completely invisible, right up until the moment it destroys everything he has built. There are thousands of Daves right now, at every income level. And if you're watching this, there's a real chance you're building the exact same trap at a different scale. Today I'm going to show you exactly how this model works, why it feels so right until it ruins you, and the precise 3-step pivot that separates the people who survive from the ones who don't. The illusion. Why it looks so smart. Let's start with why this model is so seductive. Because it genuinely looks intelligent on the surface. We're living in the peak of what I call the middleman economy. You see it everywhere. Dropshipping, high-ticket affiliate marketing, faceless content channels running entirely on third-party platforms, and borrowed audiences that you do not actually own. The logic seems completely sound. Low overhead. No warehouse, no complicated team. Just a laptop, a proven system, and the promise that if you follow the steps, the money follows. The barrier to entry is low. The potential upside looks enormous. Every guru told you distribution is king, so you poured every spare hour and dollar into platforms you don't own. You built a following on someone else's app. You made your income fully dependent on someone else's algorithm, and it felt like real growth because your numbers went up every single month. But here's the part that never makes it into the highlight reels. You are not building an asset. You are performing unpaid labor for a corporation that sees you as a rounding error. You are spending your time and capital building their empire and calling it your business. In 2026, this has hit a breaking point. I call it the ad spend death spiral. Because every competitor is running the same AI-powered tools on the same optimized ads, platforms have reached complete saturation. Audience size hasn't matched the explosion in demand for ad inventory. The reach you got 2 years ago now costs 3 times as much. And it keeps climbing every single quarter. Here's the math. Customer acquisition cost, $50. Profit margin, $60. $10 profit per sale. You scale and spend more. Then the algorithm shifts without warning. Acquisition cost jumps to $65. Your profit becomes a loss on every single transaction. Your $1 million business is now a vacuum cleaner pointed directly at your bank account. The real danger, one update away. But the margin problem is only the surface. The deeper danger is structural and invisible. Mainstream advice says obsess over the front end. More leads, more clicks, more traffic. But when your entire business depends on a single platform for survival, you are one policy update away from complete extinction. I'm not speaking hypothetically. I have seen creators with 5 million followers wake up to a permanent ban because an automated bot flagged one video by mistake. No real warning. No effective appeal process, just gone overnight. I've seen 6-figure brands get their payment processors frozen for 90 days over a routine compliance review. 90 days of zero revenue while fixed costs ran. E-suppliers sent invoices and staff expected to be paid on time. Think about what that means for your actual life. Not just your revenue numbers. Your relationships, your sleep quality, your sense of control over your own future. If your income can be eliminated by a software engineer who has never heard your name and clocked out 5 minutes after making the decision, you do not have a business. You have a high-stress hobby with an expiration date stamped on the bottom. And here's the trap that keeps people stuck. The sunk cost fallacy. You have poured so much time, money, and personal identity into this platform that you cannot look honestly at the cracks forming below. So you keep going. One more funnel, one more creative test, one more push to reach the safe zone. There is no safe zone on rented land. The platform does not care how long you have been there. The moment you become inconvenient, you are gone without warning. The hidden variable, AC, AI saturation. Now let me show you the force accelerating all of this. The hidden variable most people are still not taking seriously enough. AI saturation. The internet is being flooded with high-quality content at a scale unimaginable 3 years ago. Perfect copy, polished visuals, compelling hooks. Because everyone now has the same tools, any operator can produce what previously required an entire marketing department. Being good is no longer a competitive advantage. It is the minimum requirement to even be seen in the feed. When everyone is equally capable, the only lever left is spend. You outspend or you disappear. The only consistent winners are the platform owners collecting from every participant, regardless of outcome. They are selling shovels in a gold rush where the gold already ran out. You feel this already. Revenue up, but feeling poorer. Busier than ever, but somehow less in control. That is not a mindset issue. That is your instincts detecting a serious structural flaw in the foundation beneath you. The 3-step pivot. So what do? You do not quit. You pivot, redirecting the audience, the cash flow, and the momentum you have already built towards something that actually and permanently belongs to you. 3 steps. Here is exactly how. Step 1. Audience extraction. Stop thinking of your following as an audience, and start thinking of them as people stranded on a platform that could cut your access to them at any moment, because it genuinely can. Move them into an ecosystem you own entirely. An email list, a private community, a direct channel where the relationship belongs to you, not to an algorithm that changes its rules whenever it chooses. The test: can you reach every customer today without paying a platform for the privilege? If the answer is no, you're still a tenant and a vulnerable one. You need a bridge offer, something valuable enough that someone will voluntarily step off the platform to receive it. That is your real insurance policy. If your account disappears tomorrow morning, your business keeps running without missing a beat. Build it this week, not next month. Step 2, the margin fortress. Eliminate the middleman mindset completely. If you're selling someone else's product on margins thin enough that one bad month in ad spend puts you in the red, you are already deep inside the spiral. Move up the value chain. Build your own intellectual property. Create your own product. Develop a service so tied to your expertise that no AI tool and no competitor can replicate it cheaply. You need shock-proof margins, profit levels that absorb a 50% spike in acquisition costs and still leave you comfortably operational. If your model requires every variable to cooperate just to break even, that is not a model. That is a gamble against a house that always wins in the end. Step 3, sovereign infrastructure. Stop depending on platforms that hold your customer data as quiet leverage over you. Build a modular tech stack you genuinely own. Your domain, your hosting. Full portability of your customer data, a fulfillment system under your direct control. The ability to move and pivot without ever asking anyone else for permission. This is the unglamorous part every guru skips because it does not perform well as short-form content. But this is exactly what separates businesses that endure from ones that vanish in a single bad quarter. A real business owner controls the pipes, controls the data, cannot be switched off by a platform that views them as disposable. While everyone else panics at every update, you operate from a foundation that nothing can shake. Building on rented land does not just cost you money, it costs you your peace. When your income depends entirely on a platform you don't control, you wake up every morning checking your phone not to see what you earn. But to confirm your account still exists, that is not freedom. The middleman economy is engineered to create a class of successful-looking entrepreneurs with zero real net worth. Revenue screenshots, lifestyle content, but nothing to actually sell. No proprietary technology, no owned customer relationships, no real moat. That is Dave. And that is exactly where this road ends if you stay on it. Tonight, do not look at your revenue. Look at your dependency. Ask yourself honestly, if the platform I rely on most disappeared tomorrow morning, what would I actually have left? A list I own? A product I built? Relationships that exist entirely outside any algorithm? Or nothing? If the answer is nothing, you already know what needs to change. The information is not the obstacle. The decision is, the 2026 market does not forgive renters. It rewards builders. Stop building for the feed, start building for the future. Own your land, own your future, get to work.